Hello, I'm Fractal Future, and welcome to the Vanguard of Light, where we help energy-sensitive people take it to the next level. And we're on day number 2 of removing negative energies. So yesterday we talked about you want to discern if it's yours. And just to run another analogy about it, it's kind of like if you saw over there 2 people fighting, right? And you turn to your friend and you're like, okay, I want you to throw the punches the way that guy's gonna throw them, and I'm gonna block those punches because I want to stop that fight. It wouldn't make any sense because you're recreating a fight that you're seeing over there. That's kind of like trying to clear energies that aren't yours. Today, we're gonna talk about, is the enemy at your doorstep? And this is slightly different, right? But it's also a little bit the same. So when you ask, is it mine? And get a lightning, I will give you a link to the video. If you've missed day 1, jump to day 1 because it's important. You got to get day 1 first, right? So you ask, is it yours? It's not so much, is it yours in you? You've accepted it and adopted. It's, is it yours as in, is it yours to deal with right now? So if someone, kind of like that fighting analogy, if you saw 2 people fighting over there and tried to create it with your friend, that wouldn't make any sense. That would be duplicating something that's not yours. But now if someone was coming to attack you, it's not like they're in you, right, doing something, but they're attacking you. That is for yours to do, you got to do something. It's up for you to deal with because they're attacking you. So that's the next check. When you figure out that, it's not out there, it's okay, it's up for you, right? You feel okay. The next thing you want to check is, ask, am I being attacked, right? So ask yourself, wait, am I being attacked? You get the slight lightening of the feeling. That means there is a dark force, that is now choosing to attack you, right? And one of the ways they like to do it is implant stuff into you, right? And get these negative thoughts and feelings. Especially, this is more likely to happen the more clearings that you've done, right? The more that you've gotten out of inside of you, that you've cleared out. Now, being that there is darkness, every major religion talks about darkness, but then no one really talks about well, what do you do about it? And a lot of it's well, pretend like it's not there. Pretend like it's not there. When that doesn't ever work in any other place. It's kind of like trash. Pretend like trash isn't there. That doesn't make the trash go away. If we had a big old trash pile right here and we just only look that way, be it's okay. We're fine with trash. Or if you're walking through the woods and you see a bear, pretend like the bear's not there. You'll be fine. It's oh, bear. Okay, let me go the other way. In certain ways, with your hands up high. But you wouldn't pretend like the bear's not there and just boo, boo, boo. I'm just gonna walk past the bear because if I pretend like the bear's not there, the bear won't hurt me. Nothing's gonna happen to me. So it's kind of similar. There are dark forces. There are dark energies. We're beings of light. We came here to lift it up. We came in here, got super inverted because we're around other people that are super inverted, but that's what we're here to do. We're lifting it up, right? So there's going to be dark forces, especially the more lifting you get going. They're all like, ooh, love too much lifting. Let's come after you, right? But that's fine. Just because that's the situation doesn't mean that we need to be in fear. We are crippled and we're not fully capable to bring the light. If you're in a completely dark room, it doesn't matter how big your flashlight is. When you turn your flashlight on, you're going to bring light to the room. It doesn't matter how dark the room is, and you don't have to have the biggest flashlight that lights up the entire room because your little flashlight will light up the room. It's not going to clear all the darkness, but it always works. The light will give you some light, right? It's just how powerful your light and how deep it will penetrate the darkness. But it always gives you light, especially if you're close to it. So there is negativity. There is darkness. That's fine. It doesn't diminish that you're being a light and that you can have agency and have power. So we don't have to pretend like it's not there. We can realize, no, we're being light. We'll handle it, right? So first thing we check, is it mine? So it is. Oh, it's here, right? But we don't want to jump into oh, it's inside me. Because that's another way in which darkness likes to get it into you. Because once it gets into you and you've adopted it, now there's the whole process of clearing it. There's the whole process, because it's kind of in you and it takes as an identity. And it's we kind of forget this being a lightness and we kind of get heavy once it gets in. So we don't want to, once again, stuff that's not ours, we don't want to bring in. We don't want to bring stuff that's attacking us in either, right? So that's our second check of am I being attacked? and be like, and you get that little bit of lightning of like, oh crap, I'm being attacked, right? Now you know it's not in, but it's trying to get in. And one of the ways is like, I reject this, so the thought comes in, oh, well, you're, a piece of boom. And you're like, wait, am I being attacked? First, you'd be like, is it mine? Because it could just picking up someone else that's thinking that in their head. And they're thinking, and you just heard it. And you're like, oh, crap, that's me. No. Okay, it's not me. But if it's actually a dark force trying to put that, implant that into you, and you're like, whoa, oh, it is. I reject that. I reject that. I reject that. That's the first thing when the energy comes, I reject that. Nope, I reject it. And then you get the next thought again, or next feeling, and you'd be like, am I being attacked? And you'd be like, no, I reject it. I reject it. I reject it. And if you do it, like, comes in, you feel it, and you're like, am I being attacked? Because I would jump to that. Like, if you're found that you're under attack, right, and you say, I reject that, and all of a sudden you just feel better, great. Win. It's such a win, right? But you come in, you feel the energy. First you're checking, is it mine? Yep, it's mine. Okay, I reject that. Or first you actually check, is this, attacking me? And you get, yeah, right? So I reject it, right? And then you feel your next one, right? And you'd be like, is this attacking me? And you get, yeah, I reject it. Next one, is this attacking me? Yeah, I reject it. But then you get the fourth one that says, is this attacking me? And you get no, right? You want to jump back to like checking, is this mine? I won't necessarily go, is this mine attacking? Because if you're under attack, you just want to just boom, 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 get off. Until you get that feeling of like, is this attacking me? And it's like, no. Then I go back and I check, is this mine? And if you get no, you're like, oh, return to sender. Boom, boom, boom. It was never me. It was a attack. Oh, and I empath. Because you defended attack, abilities go up. You're going to sense stuff, right? Because you're kind of on the battle, like, you defeated the enemy, but you're seeing somebody fight and battle over there. You don't say, oh, quick, let's recreate the battle. You're like, oh, But when it's going, you'd be like, okay, are they attacked? Am I attacked? Am I attacked? Am I attacked? Right? That'd be first check because you already engaged, it's battling. But then as soon as it says no, you don't want to assume, oh, it's part of me. You're like, oh, no, wait, let me go back and check. But is this mine? Right? And this is just going to build that. I mean, because you can build shields, you can do all this stuff that kind of gives you a break, so you're not always having to do this. But this is a great technique and just constant practice of like, I'm only working on my stuff. And if stuff's attacking me, just realize, I'm not letting you get in. Because it's way easier to defend it before it gets inside you and becomes part of your identity. Right? And you're going to find like, wow, there's a lot that's not mine. And the more and more you do that, the less and less you'll have to do that. Because you'll start picking up and be able to have the feeling of like, oh, I'm empathing. And you'll start tuning up your abilities. There's ways to refine that, but you'll start tuning up that, oh, this is just an empath, just to like kind of if you're watching a show, going to a theater, right? And it's an intense one, and it's a horror one, and you're scared, and and you're in it, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're happy, and you don't have to then go and clear those emotions like they were yours. If it's sticking around or something else to work on or something like that, that's different. But it's not like you would clear of like, oh, I was so scared when that main character, you'd know why you were scared because it's supposed to be. It's a horror film. Of course you're scared. They set it up to be that way, to give you that experience. It's not like, oh, I'd have to clear it. Because like, oh man, I watched that horror film and I was afraid. Well, that's what you're supposed to be. That's the point, right? But you'll start tuning up to where you're like, oh, okay, start navigating this, 5D world of like, okay, that's not my stuff. Oh, these are attacks. I know how to deal with them. You don't misidentify them of like, oh, this is stuff that's in me. So then when you start clearing the stuff that's in you, you start getting that lightening. You get that like, I'm making progress. I'm doing better. I'm doing, because all that stuff out there isn't yours because it's so futile. I mean, it's so frustrating to work on stuff that's not yours because it makes you feel like, oh, that energy work doesn't work. Oh, that non-physical is not real. When it's like, well, you're not really working on it, So hopefully that helps to where day one, we were just checking, is it ours? Day two, we're checking, okay, am I getting attacked? Which means it's outside of us, but it, it's trying to get in. It's something we have to address because it's coming at us. So hopefully that helps. Give a like if you liked it. Tomorrow we're going to have day 3 where we start talking about, all right, it's ours and it's in us. So until we talk again, have a blessed day or a blessed night.